Hi, I'm Louise Dempsey from the Literacy Place, and I'm going to be doing a spelling rule with you again that I hope you find really useful. So the spelling rule we're doing today is around CK. So when do we use CK at the end of a one-syllable word, and when do we use a K? And we're just going to look at one-syllable words because when you get into longer words, the rule doesn't apply in the same way. So we're just going to think about one-syllable words today. The approach we recommend for teaching skills is a mini lesson, and this works incredibly well for spelling. We basically want to learn the rule, and the best way for kids to do this is to work it out themselves using an investigative approach. So working out, what's the rule? Can I find things in common with these words? And then coming up with some generalizations. So then the kids can practice once you've sort of worked out that rule. They could try it out. They could add some new words or sort some words and try and work out the rule. And then we come together and check and review. So that idea of learn, practice, review. A mini lesson is great with the whole class because it's good use of your time, but it's also really useful with a group if you've got a group that needs a bit of an extension or a bit of follow-up. And this structure is from our new book, The Poetry Book, on page 47. So yeah, the idea of learn, practice, review is a really good structure, and kids very interactive on whiteboards, reviewing, checking, and very active and collaborative during the session. So here's an example of a mini lesson you could do around when to use CK and when to use K at the end of words. So what I do is I give kids a whole list of words, some that have the CK, some that have the K, and then the first thing I do is get them to sort them into which ones have CK on the end, which ones have K. So you might want to pause the video for a moment and quickly add those words to the right category. So hopefully your list looks like my list. So what are we noticing now? If we look at the words, first of all, that have CK on the end. So CK is a digraph. The two letters together make the K phoneme. So what do you notice before the CK? So you might notice that they all have the short vowel before the K. So you've got one example of each. You've got the short A, E, I, O, and U before the K. So that's the basic rule. If you have the short vowel, then you put the CK after the short vowel. Remember the short vowel, they say their sound, yeah? And just for the Kiwi accent, we get a little bit muddled with these. Our E and our I sounds start sounding very similar. So I always say to kids, when you're making the eh sound, you've got to have a nice wide mouth so you can get the egg inside, versus when you do the eh sound, think about an insect running up your arm. It's going to make you go eh. So it's just trying to get those quite different sounds for the eh and the eh. So what do we notice about the other words? I could put those into two groups for you so you can work them out. So have a look at the top two words and the bottom three words and think, what do you notice about them? So let's look at the top two first of all. They definitely have the short vowel, don't they? Think has the the short I, and dusk has the short U, but they don't just have a short vowel and then the K. They have another consonant before the K. So the rule is if you've got a short vowel and then another consonant before your K, you just use the K. What do you notice about the words down the bottom? They all have a long vowel phoneme in them, yeah? So we've got the long E with the EA, we've got the O with the OO, and here we've actually got the split vowel digraph, so the long A with the A something E. And the consonant can change in the middle of that, but the A and E together are making the A sound. So that's the other rule. If you have a long vowel, you just use the K, even if that long vowel spelling has the split vowel digraph. So if the E's after the K, you still use a K. Okay, so there's the rule written out. So this would be a really good reviewing for the kids. So we've worked out the rule. We've got our three examples there of when we use CK and the two times we use K. So can we now think of 3 or 4 more words that would fit into each category so we can double check our rule? So that's what the kids would do now. So you might want to pause the video and just check that you can find other words with those same rules. Okay, so this spelling rule you will find on our website, The Literacy Place. If you go into our resources section, and if you click into the mini lessons, you'll find our spelling rules in there. Thanks so much for listening. Hope you found that spelling rule useful, and I hope you can share it with your kids. Very young kids can learn that rule. As soon as they know about that short vowel, they get pretty quick at working out that the CK comes after the short vowel. So hopefully even our younger students can use that rule. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.